There was a pretty seismic NIL announcement this week at Nebraska, and I'm not even sure people realize how big this is. But Nebraska officially recognized 1890 as their official collective. But the other key component is now boosters, when they give to 1890, can receive either priority points towards their donor status, or they can go to 1890's foundation, their nonprofit arm, and get a tax deduction. And to our knowledge, Nebraska right now, and I've heard this from other people in the industry, is the only school in the country that has this set up. And who know better to talk about what this means now going forward than Matt Davison, the president of 1890, joining us here. Now, 1890 Nebraska, now the official new name of the collective. Matt, thanks for joining us. And I'm sure it's been kind of a whirlwind, but I'm sure a very big week for your office to be at this point.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. Appreciate you guys having me on. Yeah, it's been a big week, and it's just been exciting for us, to work with Husker Athletics as closely as we are now, and to have the support of Troy Dannon and Haven Fields, and to be working with them, and also along with Tyler Kai and Derek Freeman and Husker Athletic Fund, and just, working with them more closely and really becoming united in what we're trying to accomplish with NIL now. It's been refreshing for us. It's been great. And hopefully it's really good for our fans too, and for our donors to be able to see that we're all on the same page. We're all trying to get to the same point where we give our coaches and athletes the best chance to be successful. And so that's what we're trying to do. And this has been a big week in the right direction.
How much does this help? I guess the best way to put it, Matt, is in what ways would you say this helps, this bit of news?
Well, I think everybody in the country over the last couple of years has been trying to figure this thing out and trying to give themselves an advantage in any way that they possibly can. And, in my opinion, the programs that are going to have the most success moving forward are the ones that are united in the way that they're operating and in their communication and the ways that they're working together to show everybody in your fan base what the goals are and what are funding priorities, and how we all work together to try to, again, give our coaches the best chance to succeed in this new landscape. And you guys have been covering this forever. And it used to be, look at the head coach, look at the position coach, look at the scheme, and look at the facilities. Mm-hmm. And those things are still important, and they're still a piece of the puzzle. And now you have this NIL piece too. And it's a piece of the pie for every athlete that's looking at where they're going to spend the next few years of their life. And to some athletes, it's a bigger piece than others, but it's certainly a piece. And so you have to be competitive in that area too. And that's what we've been trying to get done. And since Troy Dannon has been here, we've been able to take his lead and see his vision for what he thinks NIL should be here at Nebraska. He saw 1890, the way we were operating, and said, okay, how can we work better together? And so over the last few months, we've had great conversations, and here we are today, way more aligned than we've been in a long time. And I know that's not the case at a lot of places across the country. And so we're in good position here now at Nebraska, not just in football, but in all of our sports moving forward as you look at NIL in the years to come.
Yeah, Matt, by 2025, a year from now, schools in the Big Ten will have at least $22 million that they can use in-house to pay athletes. How do you, the steps that have happened this week, how much is that going to help Nebraska be better prepared for those days? And what do you envision the role of 1890 as NIL continues to evolve?
Well, you guys know it's changing all the time, and we've had to pivot a few times over the last couple of years on the way that we've done business and the way we've approached it. And when time comes, we'll pivot again, and we'll be nimble, and we'll do what we need to do to be successful in this space. And again, going back, I think the programs that are working closely with their collective, the programs that are communicating with their fans and their donors in the best way, have the best chance to be successful moving forward. It takes out confusion. It lets everybody know that you're working together. All of us are trying to get to the same point, right? Where we give our student athletes a great experience when it comes to name, image, and likeness, and to support our coaches in their mission to try to retain and attract the best athletes to their programs. And the best way to do that is for everybody to be working together and communicating all the time and being open about the best ways to move forward. And that's where we are today. And that's why I think Nebraska is positioned really nicely right now and moving forward to try to take all the great things that we all know Nebraska has already: passionate fan base, tremendous facilities, Big Ten education, wonderful people. The city of Lincoln is a great place to go to school. We all know about those things. Now you add NIL into that, and if we can be great at that, then why not Nebraska? And I think that's why we're positioned well moving forward.
So you're, in a sense, you've brought the operation in-house. What Sean has written is that fundraisers can close NIL gifts and receive benefits through the athletic department. How integral is that? What does that mean? What does that mean in layman's terms?
Well, one of our biggest challenges over the last couple of years has simply been the educational factor of NIL. You know, a lot of people, I think, want to help. They don't know how. They don't know exactly how it works, especially when you don't have the same message coming from the athletic department. And how does that relationship work? And there's just always a lot of questions about that. And hopefully some of those concerns and those questions have gone away to some degree this week when people see how closely we are working together with athletics. We're going on joint meetings now and meeting with donors and fans across the state and across the country. And we're working with the Husker Athletic Fund with Tyler Kai and Derek Freeman and their team to get a strategy in place and to talk to the right people and to make people feel comfortable with knowing that the university and the athletic department still have, you know, their priorities, but that NIL is right now a top funding priority. And when things change over the next year, 18 months, 2, 3, 5 years, you know, we're going to hopefully still be aligned in our messaging and how we're communicating to our donors and letting them understand how they can help, where we need their assistance. And so that's been a big change over the last few months, working with them so closely. We've had a great relationship with the athletic department the entire time because we've you know, all worked together. I was in athletics.
Right.
Joe Seelig, who works here at 1890, has you know, been around athletics for a long time as well. And so we've had great relationships with the coaches and with the people in the athletic department. But now, you know, we're all you know, singing the same song, and we're all doing the same things out in the community, and we're working together, and it's been wonderful. And I think hopefully it's going to make our donors, our fans, feel very comfortable in how we're working here at 1890, how we're supporting the athletic department from our offices over here, and hopefully they feel good about that.
Matt, this relationship as well has opened up some new possibilities, and we saw one of them get released this week. There's going to be an open practice on August 3rd. Tickets are available on Huskers.com for this, but they're $25 tickets, but 100% of the proceeds will go directly towards 1890 Nebraska. Whose idea was this? And I know there's been some head coaches in the past that may not be comfortable having 10,000 fans possibly at a practice. Was it an easy sell to get Coach Rule on board with this idea?
Good question.
Well, yeah, Coach Rule has been amazing, and all of our coaches are. I mean, I think our fans understand how lucky we are. I hope they do, that we have great coaches here at Nebraska. And whether it's John Cook or Amy Williams, Will Bolt, or Fred Hoiberg, Matt Rule, all the coaches we work with, they're wonderful people, and they want to help our student athletes. They want to help the players that are part of the program. And so, look, when NIL came about 3 years ago, this was one of the advantages I knew Nebraska could have. And an event like this. And so it's something that we've talked about for a long time, having some sort of an event in the stadium, understanding that our passionate fan base, we're going to get support. We're going to get people that want to come out and be a part of it, to be in Memorial Stadium and see the big screens and hear the music and watch your team run around. I know Coach Rule is going to do some really fun things with the program that night with the players. For those that do attend, I think they're going to have a great experience on a Saturday night in early August when everybody's excited about the football season getting going. It's going to be a ton of fun. And so when we approached athletics with this idea, they were all about it. And Coach Rule wanted to help. Troy Dannon, of course, was on board. And there's a lot that goes into something like this. So there's been a lot of work in the background getting us to this point where we could get the tickets, you know, out there on sale on Huskers.com and to have all the proceeds go to 1890 to support our student athletes in NIL. There's a lot that goes into it, and that's where the collaboration, the communication, the unity, working together is so important on events like this. And, and so we're hopefully going to sell a lot of tickets, guys. I don't know really what to expect. This is something new, but hopefully a lot of people come out and have fun that night.
Matt, just for educational purposes for me, you or everybody, when this idea about 1890 being nimble, your organization always being able to pivot seemingly seamlessly a lot of the time. And I've watched these changes happen since the collectives have come about. Who gets credit for that in-house? I mean, are we talking about attorneys, accountants? Who is it? Who are we talking?
It's not me, Sib.
Okay.
Look, we're lucky here at Nebraska. I haven't even talked about the Pede family yet, but obviously their support and everything they're doing for 1890 is wonderful for Nebraska and for Nebraska athletics. They cover all of our expenses, and this has been documented many times, but they cover all the overhead, all the expenses, and everything for 1890. We know that. So 100% of every contribution goes to the student athletes. It's great. But above and beyond that, it's the support that we get from all the folks at Sandhills. We have 6 employees here at 1890. There's another 12 to 15 people at Sandhills Global that are working on 1890 on a daily basis in some capacity, accounting, legal, web, social media. We have outside counsel as well. So we have a lot of people, a lot of resources that are working on 1890 on a daily basis. And so when things come up, it's new legislation, it's a new opportunity, it's a new way to look at things, a new angle. We have the right people in place, and we can make a few phone calls, and we're going to get to the bottom of it somehow. And so that's been great. Again, it's just Nebraska coming together, and what the Pede family has done for 1890 and for athletics to put us in this position is pretty unique across the country. And now, given this partnership with athletics, I think we're going to be pretty dangerous on the NIL front.
Okay. Well, Matt, congratulations on a big week for you guys to get to this point. And looking forward to seeing what the ticket sales are for this open practice, because I think you and I both know this thing has a chance to really get some attention nationally.
I think it does. And hopefully everybody goes to huskers.com/tickets and they get their tickets. Bring your family out. It's a Saturday night. By the end of it, they'll have the lights on. You'll hear some music. You'll get to watch your team in action, getting ready for the season. I want to thank Coach Rule and everybody over in athletics with Troy Dannon and his team and everybody for making this happen. And hopefully a lot of people come out and watch practice and know that their support is going to go back to building the best team we can get and to put the best product on the field we possibly can. And thank you to you guys for your support and bringing more attention to the event on August 3rd.